Hey guys, so I'm gonna start with a colour, a charm and a crystal, just one of each so I don't get too sidetracked. And then I've got, I'm going to do a whole bunch of different dragon cards, because the dragons have been coming through heaps. Even kind of saw one just before I was, well, you know, in my astral kind of before I was going to sleep the other night, which was really cool. So they've been coming through heaps, and yeah, so I'll start with that. The number 78, I've just got to say it because literally 78 has been coming through like everywhere. And it's funny because a while back I went for a walk in the bush, and on top of these like a granite outcrop, someone had been drawing in chalk, and the number 78 was written there. And then like, oh no, was it 78? God, I'll have to check. 78 was on a piece of rubbish or something, I think. Now I can't remember exactly, but anyway, there was some chalk written on granite saying like stay swaggy, and then there was like, I think it may have been a bit of rubbish or something else like near it which had the number 78 on it. And I posted it because I'm like, oh, it's crazy the little signs that you receive, like completely random. So, and you know, staying swaggy, you know, which I feel like is like staying in your kind of empowerment, and so I've kind of had that as a kind of thing. And it's just funny that I posted it with 78 and at a beautiful sunset, like with my dog on this outcrop up in the hills, and now like all of a sudden this number 78 has just been, it keeps coming up, and I'm just like, that's just freaking crazy. Hey, it's like you know, confirmation of what that message was like back then. And you know, this is like probably a few months back. But anyway, so this week 78 has been coming through heaps. So I'll look into that. And yeah, anyway, so I guess I've been getting like, well, I guess like with me like lately, you know, even I get signs all the time, right? But it's not like, I still get really down, and I still doubt it all, and and I think like I'm just getting this kind of reminder, like, to stay swaggy and, you know, trust that you're on the right path. And you know, don't overthink too much. Like, try not to get so down. I mean, it is so hard. Like, you know, lately I've been getting so down, like, you know, to the spiral point, you know, where you're just like, why do you even bother keep pushing through? Like, but it is amazing, like one reaffirming sign can just turn it all around for you. And it kind of, like, I was today thinking about, because like even when I'm in my cycle going down this just spiral of shit feeling, and at the same time I'm aware of myself going down the drain, and and you got that kind of it's like a self, I know you're aware of yourself and like, okay, so I'm spiraling and fuck it anyway, and do I want to stay in this fucking mood, or do I want to get out, and like, and then you're like, well, everything has a reason. Why am I in this funky mood? You can't be in a good mood all the time, so what am I going to get out of this funky mood? But it's fucking shit when you're in the funky mood. And I'm not saying like in a funky in a good way, it's funky in a bad way. But it's just so shit when you're in that mood. But the littlest things can improve that mood. Like I had a bubble bath and toast while I was in the bubble bath, and it was just so, I felt so nice again. But then the mood came back and then I went for a walk and I improved my mood and got in touch with the beauty, and it was so beautiful. But then I went down back into that mood again, and I'm just like, why do I keep going back into this spiral of shit, but the thing is, I guess everything has a reason. I don't know, maybe it's just practice on all the different things that I can do to improve my mood, and that it is just a mood and it is not me, and it all depends on how I'm thinking about things at the time and what I choose to do, whether I choose to change it or not. Like that kind of water eddy kind of thought, the thought eddy that's kind of just stuck in those rocks, like, your flow all of a sudden gets kind of caught and you just kind of stay there, and you're like, all right, so am I going to stay there? Am I going to try to, knock myself out of it and continue flowing? And so like today I was very much thinking about the importance of flowing, realizing that I wasn't flowing, and, trying to keep knocking myself out of the rocks. It was kind of a very rocky day. Lots of little water eddies that I got stuck in. And, I had to, some days you really have to try. You really have to try. And other days, it's just free flowing. Everything is, so like easy sailing. And then other days, it's just rocky, spiral frickin', and it is like, I guess, seeing it as, you're on the river, you're the water in the river, and, every now and then you come across like some rapids with all the rocks and all the chances to get caught in, some bits to navigate. It slows you down, you get stuck in little spirals, but you are water, and the flow, getting back into the flow is the point, makes it easier. So you can learn all sorts of things going through the rapids. I mean, that's where you learn, right? And I think the thing is, a lot of the time, it's outside. I mean, it's rapids. You're the water, and you've come across these rapids, and these rapids, energetics. They can be other people, and universal energies. Freaking God, God knows. A lot of the time, you just wake up one day, and it's completely different from the previous day, and you're like, yesterday was a great day. Why am I feeling like this today? Like, just completely out of the blue. And this when it takes you off guard, like, it's like, you're in that river and it's all just glorious, and you're like, it feels like you're on this freaking, I'm thinking, like a pool, a blow up thing, just enjoying the cruise down the river, like, sunbaking with a drink in your hand. Next minute you've been dunked, and you're in these rapids, and it just came out of nowhere. You didn't do anything, and it's a shock to the good mood that you were just in, and then it's like, well, shit. It's like almost like you got to learn to swim again each time this kind of stuff happens. And I was also thinking, I mean, sometimes it is like every day is a new day, and it's like each day you kind of do have to like check in and get yourself into the right. It's almost like each day is a reset. Like, I was thinking today, why do I keep forgetting? It is almost like I keep forgetting, because if I remembered, why am I feeling this way? Because, like, I know this. I should be fine. Like, I should be flying my kite every day, but I'm not. And that's why it's still shocking to me. And it is literally like I forget, or I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Like, for whatever reason, I wake up and my frequency has dropped ridiculously low, that I can't remember what I actually know of myself, of what reality is, of what I should be doing that day, of what I wanted to do, of who I am, of the meaning of it all, of my peace that I've actually, reached. Why do I keep forgetting? And I was just, like, why do we keep forgetting? And I'm like, well, maybe the forgetting is like a reset, so we actually get to remember again. So we can remember in a whole brand new way all over again. So it is like each day is a new opportunity to remember who we are, or to decide who we are, or to decide how we want to see that day. So I guess maybe so it doesn't get too boring for us. Also, we can learn some extra lessons that day. Also, we can really hammer home the lessons that we already know, but apparently we forgot overnight. Because sometimes I honestly, it's just like you forget. I'm like, how can I forget it all every day? Anyway, so that was like kind of my days getting myself out of the mother frickin' drain yet again, for no reason. For no reason. Well, I mean, there's lots of reasons, isn't there? There's always lots of reasons. But yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. I won't get into all my issues. So we've got Meerkat, which is a brown, so 3 jumped out, so I'm doing 3. Actually, I kind of got 3 of my dragon cards each, so it's the power of 3 today. So mote it be, the power of 3. The magic number. So we got Meerkat, Wallaby, and Murray Red. Murray Red. Lemurians. Wallaby. So it's like a rockabye. Like rockabye baby by the wall. Don't you cry. And the Meerkat. So the Mercat. Yeah, okay. So that's a very big energy coming through at the moment, is the with the Sirius gateway opening, is like the lion, mer, cat, Lyran lineages. The Sirius water, blue beings. I'm getting a lullaby. Oh. Rockabye. Buy a rock. I did buy a rock. I bought a few rocks. The ball law, sphere, laws of the sphere. Universal laws. The energetic. It's very cool. And the red ray, the moose, rum. The Murray is a river, so it's like the spirit rum, you know, spirit. So the river, the spirit river, which is like, you know, the Golden Lake, but it's more like a river. Like, I'm getting like Proud Mary, keep on rolling. It's not stagnant, right? It is forever running. We keep on rolling, and I'm getting, you know, the moo ray, the spirit of Mu, which I would say is blue, but we've got red coming through here, and you know, I've been feeling a lot of, you know, red recently, like the whole ruby thing has been very big. The wall, all balls are the cool colour, the cool kids, the cool colour. The blue balls, the puddles. Allow a bond by colour. So we got reds, the grace, the greys, and the browns, which I think is rainbow. A baller. Someone who knows how to call the spheres. all the spheres, the orbs. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, but the colour therapy was coming through heaps today. Like your mood, your frequency, your mood, your emotions is a colour, right? And this is like, today was like a massive learning refresher about what I can do to change my mood, which is a frequency. And you know, I went through all of it, like temperature, because it's so cold here at the moment. Like, I had a warm bath, and as soon as I got in the hot bath, my mood improved greatly. So temperature affects a mood. Sounds. So like I made myself put some music on and started singing, which so quickly improved my mood. Colours, so what you choose to wear, what you choose to see. And like, as soon as I went to the bush and saw all the green, as soon as I went outside, improved my mood. So, you know, the lighting, the sounds around you, other frequencies, like other people around you, the colours around you. So even like I did some food shopping, and I was completely being guided just to like look at colours of it sounds really random, but I feel like I was being kind of guided, you know, and the messages on the packaging and stuff, like literally getting assistance for me to get messages to improve my mood. And you know, a lot of the time that it's like they work overtime to give me messages in order to keep my frequency high. And you know, that in itself is realizing that that's going on as another method when I'm feeling shit, to look for the signs, so I know I'm not alone in it, that they are trying to help me get out of my little eddy cycle, stuck in the little rut of thought pattern. Like, they work extremely hard, really hard, to keep us flowing, to keep our mood high. Just look for it. So, you know, all these techniques you can use constantly, you know, and also, you know, the little comforts, just to improve your mood enough to like snap you out of the cycle. Because like today, I felt myself keep getting sucked in. It was like a big energetic eddy today that just kept sucking me in, and I literally had to go through every method of mine, and plus them helping me to keep me in a decent frequency today. And I didn't get much done today at all, but I did not get sucked in to that cycle completely. Like I managed to rim it most of the day. And you know, that you know, like, it takes a lot energetically, and it's still tense. I still am rimming it. I'm still feeling the pull to get sucked in, it is a stress to stay at the edge and not get pulled in. Constant stress. And you know, it's so tiring to constantly do this, but you know, it is worth it, because getting sucked in is just, it's just fucked. Everyone knows when you actually start spiraling, it's like the only way you can go is all the way down to get out, and that's a really shit ride. That's a really shit ride. And it takes a while. But if you try and stay rimming it, you just have to do is rim it just long enough until something can kick you out, and it's, you know, it's not as bad as going all the way in. And that's what it feels like. As bigger energies, it seems to be bigger energies, outside energies that are at play, like nothing that's going on with me. It's not me, but they like affect us so much. You know, and a lot of the time this is the case. It's not our stuff that we get sucked into, it's outside energies playing a part, that our energy gets affected by and pulls us into our own, well, it feels like our own spiral, but really, yeah. I hope you like understand what I'm trying to say, but yeah, anyway, we do get a hell of a lot of assistance. And you know, like, it was so bad for me today. Like, normally they can get me laughing, or they can get me so high off the, I mean, frequency wise, like just high as a freaking kite with the messages and love that I feel, like how much they're trying to help, the number of synchronistic messages that I get. But like sometimes, like even today, they can't even get a smile out of me, even with the most amazing miracle freaking synchronistic thing. Like tonight, like just before this video, I was watching one of my favorite tarot readers, Cosmic Kid, do a reading, and he had some channeled messages that he was reading out for the group I picked, and he literally said the number like 1, 2, 3 as would be a synchronicity for me. I looked at the time and it was 10:23, literally, as he spoke those words. And those are the types of things that that like been getting like all day, and like today the energy is so sucky that I'm just like, and normally it would just blow me away and I'd just be like, fuck, you know what I mean. Anyway, like a lot of the time, you know, these messages are just mind-blowingly amazing that I get, and then I'm just walking on air. But there's days like today where I am just rimming it. It's just getting me by without losing my shit completely. It's just holding me back. You know what I mean? And I hate days like this, you know. But you know, at the same time, kind of been realizing all day and kind of having the discussion with myself and them, like we literally tried everything today, like to take my mind off the suction of being, you know, sucked in. And I think, yes, it's a group effort. It's a group effort. And I think I'm getting the dragons and the cats. The meerkat pokes its head out looking for danger type thing, keeping an eye out. And you know, this is what I think, they're always keeping an eye out. And on guard. You know, the meerkat is takes turns at being on guard type thing. Yeah, so turquoise. I was just looking at this little sea turtle, right? The colour, the turquoise. So, little messages, the turquoise. Colour therapy and everything like that. So I saw something on YouTube that Hathor is like a turquoise queen type thing or something. And oh yeah, segue. And like Hathor has been really big with me. And we were really working with the colour therapy today, and you know, pick me up messages and stuff. And I like the little colour swatches is really good, because you know, you just allow your eye to get, you know, drawn to a colour, and then read what the message, you know, read what the colour is called. Chloride. And so today I was playing with my nail polishes, and they've all got names to them. So this is Hocus Pocus. Focus on the positive. It's like magic. And then I saw, you know, the video on YouTube, which was Hathor was turquoise queen or whatever. And yeah, all these little methods of getting messages, whatever resonates with you, is magical. And I guess it's like, it's just reaffirming how much assistance is available to you, even if it's just to improve your mood the smallest bit. They can, you know, they're there to help, like, you know, and they're like constantly trying, you know, doing that. All right, so we got completely sidetracked. We got some colours, which is kind of earthy, wintry, burgundy, brown grey. So like brown grey. Oh, there's two other colours sticking out here. Tornado and mountain wine. Energetic tornado and mountain wine. With mountain wine, I'm getting freaking like Mount Sinai with Jesus. And water into wine, like the miracle. A tornado. The spiral of energy. Yeah. Alright, anyway. So And then the stone I pulled out is the unicorn stone. For stability, release, love, empathy, calming, grounding, protection and support. Unicorn stone is a powerful yet gentle, natural combination of lepidolite, pink tourmaline, clevelandite and smoky quartz, found in Madagascar, bringing calm, stillness, joy, empathy, positivity and safety. Unicorn stone helps us take the deep breath in to release the pent up fear, anxiety and tension that we may be holding on to, and then keep moving forward with our heart open to what the world will bring us. I am powerful and gentle, and that, you know, that's just kind of exactly what they've been trying to do to me, for me all day. See if I can find my unicorn stone. I think it might be this one. Yes, possibly. Yeah, this one. It's kind of a bit of pink and grey. I don't know if you can see it very well, but kind of pink to dark, like it kind of looks like raspberry ripple ice cream, you know, like a little bit like that. Yeah, stone, like the stones are amazing, and like I did go and buy a few new ones, and just the other day, and you know that the colours and the shapes within them can just draw you in and draw you out of your thought spiral. And you know, it is all about where you're putting your attention. It's just sometimes it seems like our spiral is just so strong, it literally sucks us in. But you know, to be stronger than that suction, you know, we've got so many options to really try and just keep trying to, because it is all about our attention, and our eyes are the best way to take our attention. Our eyes and our physical body is the best way to take our attention away from our thought loops that we get stuck in. So, you know, movement, feeling the body, you know, like I was saying, like the temperature, visual, getting back into a flow. It is so hard to stay in that loop if you're, you know, moving, doing something different, having to completely put your mind on something else and continue to do that until the loop, the spiral is gone. And you know, it's just all these techniques of building the strength in order to realize you're being sucked at, and to not like just ignore the suction completely and put your attention on other things that can bring you more pleasantly into the flow again. And you know, let's face it, sometimes it has to be some pretty powerful methods of focusing your attention, so you get to the point of it enjoying where that attention is, that you're not tempted or not even feeling the suction anymore, because you are, your attention and your pleasure zone, like what you're interested in, and is far stronger than like any you know, suction type energetic thing trying to pull you down. You know, you do know how to swim and you can fight the current, and it is about that swimming ability. You just got to keep training. You just got to keep swimming until you're yeah. So this is why the turtles popping out of me, like the Nemo turtles, right? To get out of the suction thing that's going nowhere and to get into the slipstream of the of riding, you know, your flow wave, like you choosing where to go rather than just allowing yourself to get sucked into this thing that's just gonna like bottom you out on the ground, like, you know, like, yeah. So it reminds me, you know, the little baby ones, and they're all surfing, the, you know, and the dad's, you know, riding the current, and the little baby's playing around, and then he gets sucked down. And like Nemo's dad's like freaking out, but the turtle's like, he's got to learn to swim, he's got to learn to get back in, and he does, and then he comes up and catches up with him. And it is all about the learning of these currents and how to get back onto where you want to be, and that is the learning that is happening constantly, and to never think that you're not in control. You are in control. It is just all about learning how to, and remembering, like I was saying before, it's like remembering that you do know how to swim, and that you do know how to be where you want to be, and how to be in your flow. Sometimes, like I was saying, even with me, and I'm not being like high and mighty here, but like I know so much about this, but I still get sucked in. I still forget, and I've got to it's like I have to remember all over again. It's so fucking annoying. But, and this is the thing, I guess, like, try not to give yourself so much shit when you get sucked down, or that you forget that you know how to get yourself back into your flow. Because sometimes this is what the lower energy is. You forget what you know when you're at the high energy. It's literally like low energy, you've only got so much access to your brain. So you've really got to fucking fight hard to get higher in order to get more access to your brain. But when you're in the high frequency, you're just like, yeah, that's right, I know it all. But when you're at a low frequency, it's literally like you're working on like a really low percentage of what your ability is. And it's across all areas, you know. But as you push through, you remember more as your frequency raises, you know. And it's fucking crazy how this works. It's literally crazy. And this is why it's so important to try and keep your frequency, you know, high in whatever ways, and knowing these ways, because it's just too easy to get trapped in this forgetful kind of zone for a while. And yeah, I mean, it is literal. I mean, this is what I've kind of been experiencing. It is literally like Lucy. You know that movie? Your frequency completely gives you more access to your brain. So all you have to do is give yourself as many boost whatever way to heighten your frequency, and you've got more of everything of you. And each time your frequency drops, your ability to access your brain lessens again. It is literally like, imagine like an upside down pyramid. So the low frequency, this is how much of your brain you're accessing, and the higher frequency that you can get your energy, the more of your brain and capabilities you can access. And it's mind-boggling how much that, like, the difference. Like down here, you only know this amount of much of yourself, of your brain, of your capabilities. You have an insane capability just being you, if you can raise your frequency. And like I was saying, there's a million different ways you can raise your frequency. Like I was saying. But it is like that. It's just training. It's frequency training. And I guess imagine, this is in a spiral flow pattern, right? And it does feel like you have to fight a current to raise your frequency. So like gravity literally is trying to lower your frequency constantly, and if you're not always aware, you're always going to be trying to like bottom out. You're going to be going down the drain, or just sitting on the bottom here, like if this is the little drain, like right here, so yeah. So you literally got to become a strong swimmer to fight this current, to try and raise your energy. And the more you do it, the stronger you get, the easier it is to start swimming up here. And let's face it, when you're up here, the suction isn't as great as when you're down here. Like down here, the suction is quite, you can imagine, the suction is strong down here, but once you fight it long enough, up here it is a lot easier to stay in. But every now and then you kind of ribbing. You can imagine this, the water spiral, right? You can imagine like in the bathtub, you can imagine in the middle here is that kind of water tornado that sucks it down, but the energies in everything around you makes this kind of, that water tornado. It doesn't just stay straight, it kind of randomly, whatever the energy is doing, or the flow of water, it moves around, and it can catch you off guard, come out of nowhere, and you start getting kind of sucked into that freaking spiral. And that's what, like, even up here, even way up here, you can find yourself trying to get sucked into this, spiral, and you have to swim to fight to get out of it. And if you haven't been doing laps lately, or working on your your muscle strength, you might not be able to. You might actually have to fight a little bit harder to get away from this water tornado thingy. And this is the thing, I don't think anyone is ever really in the free and clear, because this energetic spiral is always there, like energy is always moving. But yeah, Anyway, so what I'm saying is like it's a hell of a lot easier swimming up here, and you know, not as much pressure or anything, and you've just got so much more access to the more you and remembering and all that. And down here it's just like a constant fucking fight, and you're just getting like sucked down the drain, and you can't remember anything of all this up the top. But the thing is, we are all this, like this is our like ability, but most of us are like literally in this like little triangle right down here, constantly thinking that life is the drain. But you know, we've got all this up here. Yeah. I might leave it there and do my my cards in a new one, in a different one, because we're already nearly up to an hour. So yeah, I guess that's my experience of freaking fighting the messed up energies, fighting the current. Some days it's harder than others. But yeah, I mean, it's about, I think, just realizing. Try and just remember and go easy on yourself, so you can just do any little thing, you know, even if it's a pack of Tim Tams or a drink of wine, any little thing that improves your mood. Obviously, you know, like a walk outside, you know, doing some colouring in, playing with cards, going for a drive, taking a dog for a walk, having a cuddle, all these, doing your nails, all these little things to stay in the rim and not get sucked in. Have a good one.